It's time for our daily dose of cope, and our leopard here is so full because there are so many faces to be eaten. Let's go ahead and jump right into some of these stories of the day. Y'all, this one is so delicious. We have an alabaster illegal, and he has been detained. Him and his wife are some Trump supporters. Monet Richey over on Facebook went to his page. She says Casper William Erickson called Democrats Satan, but is now asking for help since he's in ICE detention. Wouldn't that make Republican God? So why is he fighting God's will? He said Biden was a failed president. Failed at what? Deporting you? And here she is sharing the screenshot of what Casper reposted. And Casper reposted something from Bradley saying, I think the Democratic Party is the party of Satan. Agree? Obviously he agreed because he shared it. He also shared this post from Matt Couch where Trump is holding up a piece of paper and it says, let's go Brandon. And we all know what that stands for. So this is Savannah Erickson saying, if you would like and be willing to write a letter in support of Casper, his character, and his role in our community and our family, that would be helpful. Please email them to me by this afternoon. If you would like to and feel led to, message me for my email. Thank you all so much for the help, love, and support. Here's an update on our daddy, husband, son, uncle, son-in-law, friend, and illegal. The attorneys are working to get Casper home to us, but as of today, he still has not been processed by the Department of Justice. Therefore, he still has no case number. This means the lawyers can't even petition for his release because even though he's physically detained and at an ICE facility, he is not there on paper or in the computer system. Please pray that this process speeds up for Casper and our family. In addition, if you know someone directly or personally who can help us, please reach out. We appreciate our government policies to keep Americans safe from this illegal, but we only ask that the process be more efficient and that Casper's case be reviewed quickly so that he can be the leader of our family. We can get the leader of our family back. Do you think he should eat the faces? Eat the faces. Now we're going to move to this Facebook post from this man named David Burnett. He says, all right, I'll say it. I don't like several things Trump is doing. I don't like the tariffs that raise prices on consumers while blaming businesses for the cost. I don't like any president unilaterally declaring emergency powers to change trade policy, especially when the emergency is. I don't like our current trade policy. I don't like the needless trade wars on allies and fuzzy math to defend them. I don't like provocative rhetoric that undercuts electoral chances of conservative parties abroad, budgets that raise the spending ceiling by $4 trillion, or reckless talk about suspending due process in deportations. I don't like threats to leave Ukraine to the predations of Russia, especially when he said he'd end the war on day one, or offers to give Iran nuclear capabilities. There's still a lot to like. And I don't regret my vote. But Republicans should be willing to confront their own when they stray, even if Democrats don't. He listed all of these things that he does not like. And then at the bottom, he says, there's still a lot to like. Like what? But the part that I highlighted, I still don't regret my vote. He doesn't. That's the reason why these people need to feel the pain for 2 to 3 years, because they are still going to go right on down this path. He has shared this screenshot of this live social post from Donald Trump saying Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs. Who says that? And not charge valuable customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. And talking about these companies are going to eat the tariffs or whatnot is like him saying that Mexico was going to build the wall and pay for it. Was going to pay for the wall. This man is a habitual liar, but these people keep falling for the okie doke. Anyways, David said, tell me you don't understand economics without telling me you don't understand economics. Expecting business or the Fed to compensate for the fallout of your actions, or saying that maybe people can learn to get by with fewer dolls or pencils, sounds like communist central planning nonsense. yet you don't regret your vote. So I really wish he would have enumerated all of the wonderful things that Trump is doing, but all he listed was negatives, which we are saying, and it matches. They still don't regret anything, so they need to feel the pain for a while. The Trump administration is about to start garnishing paychecks and Social Security checks for people that default on their student loans. And there are still a lot of people, and including seniors that are not working, that are not paying their loans. So this article from the Business Insider says student loan debt followed them into retirement. Now it threatens their Social Security checks. I'm highlighting one person here who is definitely a Trump supporter because it says so right in the article. Sherry, 67, described herself as a staunch Republican who voted for Trump. She's a retiree with nearly $20,000 in student debt and relies on her $1,700 monthly Social Security check and inconsistent pay from a freelance job. She is not pleased with the collections restart. For them to come right out and say, well, we're putting people in collections, that really angers me, Sherry said. Actually, I'd like to write a letter to my president and that I helped to put in the office and say, whoa, wait a minute, buddy. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. She says she supports the Trump administration's stance that loans should be paid back, and she made payments as often as she could, but she has not paid off her debt since the pandemic, and she's not financially prepared to start back up again. When I start reading about coming after us and attacking our Social Security check, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to end up in the streets because you can't stop it, Sherry said. Sherry says she isn't sure what her future student loan payments will look like and whether she'll end up defaulting. She said that she believes that if you borrow something, you have to give it back, but she doesn't think the abrupt start of collections is the right approach. So she voted to put herself on the streets. I wonder if she regrets it. Nope. I'm not going to bash the Trump administration, but that being said, I think that turning people over to collections is a very drastic move after what we just went through over the past 4 years. I'm opposed to that. And, now we get to pay higher prices because of tariffs and the trade war and then all of the inflation that's going back up. So you should be thankful for what he has done. So now your little checks are going to be even smaller because they're going to go less and less far. I don't know why people scribble out folks' usernames, but these are some of the comments on Trump's Lie Social page. So this person says, is there something in the big, beautiful bill about no tax on tips? Nope. No tax on overtime? Nope. Is that in the bill? Nope. How about no tax on Social Security? Nope. And then this person says, as per your promise and the millions of votes for your MAGA agenda, please make sure it includes no tax on Social Security. Please don't ignore the seniors. This person, Mr. President, sir, you lied to us about no tax on Social Security. Now we see that we're going to be taxed on our monthly Social Security payment, but get a $450 per year savings. That is $37.50 more each month. You might as well keep it because that small amount doesn't really help us. I'm so disappointed about this. This person says, here you are, dear leader, pushing your big, beautiful bill that you lied to all of us about. You know we are not happy with it. This is not promises made, promises kept. You left out the no tax on Social Security, yet illegals can get Medicaid, and you didn't demolish the green scam. We stood behind you through thick and thin, and this is how you repay us? This person says, no, it's not fantastic. I voted for you because of no tax on Social Security, but that is not in this bill. I pay tax on 82% of my Social Security. The $4,000 credit is virtually nothing, and it's definitely not equal to no tax on Social Security. You just lost millions of future Republican votes. He shouldn't be getting votes in the first place because this should be his last presidency. And I've already talked about this, but I'll talk about it again. Josh Hawley is sitting up here just hand-wringing for some FEMA money because of these storms that came through Missouri, but they are trying to also gut FEMA. As residents begin the long process of recovery, many are asking a pressing question, where is FEMA? Following his tour, Hawley addressed the media and said he is in communication with Governor Mike Kehoe, who is leading the state's emergency response efforts. The governor has the state running point. He wants FEMA to assist. I'll leave that to him, but I will say FEMA has a lot of resources, and we want to see all of them deployed here. We want to see assistance come in full. He wants FEMA to come in full and will be like a dog with a bone with that. So we'll see if these states get any FEMA money or they're going to get screwed like he wants to screw blue states.
The drone is killing tremendous numbers of people. You hide behind a tree and the drone comes down and it circles you with fire. You don't have a chance. The tree comes down also, by the way. It's so intense. I mean, you see these trees being knocked down like they're being sawed down by a top-of-the-line timberman like, you know, who? Sean Duffy. Do you know that Sean Duffy, the head of the Transportation Department, who's working right now on the airports and getting a system because Biden didn't do a thing for 4 years, and Pete Buttigieg was the head, and he goes bicycling to work. And instead of using hydraulic, like on tractors that can handle anything from hurricanes to lightning to anything, they used magnets. It's a new theory. Magnets are going to lift the planes up, and it doesn't work. So we've opened up the shower heads, the faucets, the toilets. Seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. I hear so much about the word groceries. I used to use groceries a lot on the trail. A word that's like sort of an old-fashioned word, groceries. But groceries is the word that's the most accurate word. Basically, what we're doing is equalizing. There's a new word that I came up with, which I think is probably the best word. It sort of represents something that's both horrible and beautiful and strong and miserable, weak.